we've discovered how useful it can be to have filters at the top of our pivot table. In this particular example, we've got two filters. We've got year and we've got region. If you have filters at the top of your pivot table, you might find it useful to be able to separate your filters into different sheets. Let me give you an example. If, for example, I go to region and I have to choose Auckland and OK, and then I have to print that pivot table, then I have to go to Christchurch and OK, and I have to print that pivot table, maybe I have to print a separate pivot table for each of the regions listed here. And if there are a lot of regions, that can take a long time. So I'll put it back to all. And what I'd like to show you is on the Pivot Table Tools Analyze tab. The Options button on your far left has actually got a drop down, and it's got the option Show Report Filter Pages. Now if I choose that, it basically gives me two options. Because I have two filters at the top of my pivot table, I can separate by either region or by year. If I choose year, for example, and go OK, I'll suddenly at the bottom of my screen acquire a sheet for each option in the year drop down. So I'll go OK. Suddenly I've got a sheet for 2010, 2011 and 2012. If I go back to pivot, this is my master, and that's where it separated these years into separate sheets. Now if I do it for region, I'll simply go to the options drop down, show report filter pages, and I'll choose region. When I go OK, at the bottom of my screen, I'm going to acquire a sheet for every region listed in this drop down here. So I go OK. And here I see Auckland, Christchurch, Hamilton, Kawerau, and so on, and it's created a sheet for every region. I could then choose the first sheet, Auckland, and then using my arrows, view Whakatane and shift click Whakatane. So I clicked Auckland and I shift clicked Whakatane. Now if I go to File and Print, I can then go into Page Setup, and I can fit to 1 page wide by 1 page tall, and OK. The idea now is I have 11 pages in my report because there are 11 regions, and if I went print, I could actually print each region to its own page. If I then want to remove these sheets, I simply right click and delete. And delete again. And then I'm back to my master sheet called Pivot. If I wish to remove the years, I'll click on the first year, hold the shift, click on the third year, right click and delete. And I'm back to my master. So if you have a filter at the very top of your pivot table and you want to generate a sheet for every option in that drop down, simply use on the Pivot Table Tools Analyze under Options the Show Report Filter Pages command.